Who's it gonna be? This is Lamar! Oh my God! My brain's gonna explode. My brain's gonna explode. There's something sinister afoot, absolutely.
All right, everybody, here we are. It is St. Patty's Day. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Follow that tune. Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. We're live. We're alive here at the Haymaker Studios for a great edition of the Slightly Biased Show. We're going to hammer out some details here after the show and stuff like that. But I do think right now the plan is on Thursday for let that shoulder go. Let that shoulder go. Sup, McDonald's legend? Fuck you. Okay. But also, if you guys are like, if it matters to you guys, I did try the Big Arch Burger this weekend. Not that it matters to any of you, but I did try it. Honestly, I feel like you guys bullied me into it because I really had no interest in trying it. But you guys have made fun of me so much about it that I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna get made fun of, I might as well try it. And it was not good at all. It was horrible. So I get why their CEO behaved in that manner because it was dreadfully bad. I didn't even finish it. Just one. Thank you. So right now we're discussing some plans on Thursday, day one of March Madness. We're hoping to have some type of watch party here. That should be a lot of fun. And I'm really hoping because Thursday at 3 p.m., I believe, Central Time, the matchup of the tournament. And some people are calling it the game of the century. The number one first round matchup in the history of March Madness. Isaac Big Fish Johnson and the Hawaii Rainbows square off against Darius Trey Burke Acuff and the Arkansas Razorbacks. And many people are saying this is one of the best first round matchups of all time. And I would love to watch it. I would love for Isaac to be here. I've invited Isaac. We're going to try to get Isaac here because he's a big Acuff guy. I'm hoping that it all works out. Nick is going to be here, but I don't know if he'll be able. We're trying to get, a crew, a mob. I'm trying to get B-Dot in here to give off some movie takes. I mean, we're really going for it. The Rainbows, that's right. The guard for Alabama got caught with pounds of weed and was suspended. That's unfortunate he was suspended. Who cares, right? Who cares? I did hear about that. I didn't know he got suspended. I did hear this morning that it was pounds. He got arrested for... failing to, what was the thing? What was one of the things they threw on him? Failing to produce a tax. Failing to produce a tax credit? Is that what it was? Something like that?
This must be the worst thing an Alabama guard's done in ever.
True. Failure to produce a tax slip? I'm like, this is something somebody has been arrested for since 1600. Like not producing a tax slip? What is that even? I never even knew that was a thing. But okay. Anyways, that sucks for Alabama because getting arrested pre-tournament for me, if you play through it, that's kind of a boost. I'm gonna be real. Like that's something that I am putting in your favor, right? But now that you're suspended, I can't do that. So we're going to talk a little bit about March Madness. We're going to do a bracket today, and I'm going to do a bracket challenge. I've got some stuff in the pipeline for you guys next week. Merch. Some people say Slightly Biased is the fully delusional merch is the greatest. It is, I wear it out. You have seen some pieces of it at the Met Gala. That's true. I've seen some of you guys tag me in it. Yes, we did design that, fullydelusional.shop. Next week, we have a new line dropping. So I'm thinking the winner of the Slightly Biased bracket is going to get a free hat and a free shirt that we are dropping next week. I don't want it. It's ugly. Shut up. You're getting it. I'm delivering it. And that's that. Thoughts on the Jalen Waddle trade? I'm happy about it. I swindled somebody. And I've been thinking about this lately. I go back and forth on this. I do think dynasty leagues are the best type of fantasy leagues. I'm in a football dynasty league. I traded Brian Thomas Jr. this past year for Jalen Waddle in a first. And I feel like I walked out of that an absolute champion. Let's get some free shipping going for Europe. We're looking into shipping options for Europe. I'll tell you something. It ain't going to be free, right? But we are looking into our options there. So thank you for that. Again, it's not going to be free. I'll let you guys in on a little something we're working on, right? The stuff that I'm hoping, give you guys a little sneak peek, sneak preview just a little sneak preview. This isn't a finished product, but, we're getting close. Yeah, not finished, but getting close. There you have it. There you are.
My God.
Huh? How about that?
Look at that go.
Something we're working on. Something that we're working on. Slightly, what would your reaction if Jerry takes Falk at 12? No clue. Don't know who that is. No clue who that man is. So, best of luck to him. Is that good or bad? Is that good or bad? So we're going that route with a hat, and then we're also going a shirt that I'm really excited about. It's going to look great. Same vein, right? We're going to Tank Commander line. A Tank Commander line is what we're going for. I've previewed these on my stream before, but again, not a totally finished product yet, but how about that, huh? That's, if you see that at the Met Gala, if you see Timothée Chalamet wearing that, don't be too surprised. Don't be too surprised, okay? Don't be.
I thought Timmy got canceled.
No, we're back. Timmy's back. And you guys did hear the unfortunate news. The Oscars were this past weekend. And I'll have you guys know, this is great. I did watch Begonia over the weekend. So we did get some women representation finally on the show. I watched one of the Best Actress noms. Told you guys I'm not watching Hamnet. She won, obviously, for that. But I did watch Begonia, and it was a really good movie. Really, I thought it was fantastic. Emma Stone was incredible in it. I'm a little bit surprised that, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. Plemons.
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah,
he should have got a nom.
I'm pretty shocked he did not get a nom because he was incredible in that. But yeah, Michael B. Jordan. Hate watching? No, come on. I was not hate watching. It was a good movie. Michael B. Jordan winning was pretty awesome. I think I wanted, I guess I didn't really care who won. It would have been cool to see Tim win. Timmy's going to win one, right? He might win one for Dune 3. I mean, geez, that movie looks insane. But yeah, I mean, I'm just, it was really cool to see Michael B. Jordan win. And he was awesome in that movie. And, him going to In-N-Out afterwards, we all relate to that. Biggest achievement of his life going to In-N-Out after. And I know that's the tradition, but come on, it's awesome. Speaking of awesome, the Dallas Cowboys. If you guys need your Dallas Cowboys news on their recent moves, you should check out the One Star Podcast presented by Haymaker Studios. That's me. The One Star Podcast presented by Haymaker is out every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Every Wednesday, NFL free agency is still going on. And what is going on with Max Crosby? Is he just going to be a Raider forever? I mean, that's kind of strange, right? KT, The Athletics, John, Machota, and Sad Yusuf will break it all down for you. The One Star Podcast right here on Haymaker Network. Go give it a 5-star review while you're over there, okay? And give this a 5-star review on all podcast platforms as well. Thank you very much. Okay, we got a lot to go over and discuss today. Obviously, we're going to do a March Madness bracket. I'm going to fill one out right in front of you guys, and I will open up a pool that you guys can join. We did it last year. It was a lot of fun. Does anyone remember who won? I don't, but congratulations to them, whoever it was. If you guys are in here and you haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. Helps out tremendously, so on and so forth. But let's talk about some of the NBA games that happened last night really quickly. Really just kind of want to talk about one. And no, not the Mavericks, because we don't care all about it. Although I will say it's nice to see Cooper Flag finally starting. I say finally, but Cooper Flag has been playing pretty well over the last.
Did y'all know that LeBron James at age 41 years of age?
Welcome in, Stephen A. again.
Stephen A., welcome into the show. What do you got for us, Stephen A.? I'm running for president. Okay, great. Can't wait to vote for you. Stephen A. Smith versus Jake Paul, guys, 2028. Things have never been brighter for the United States of America. Stephen A. Smith, actually, it'll be Stephen A. Smith versus Tucker Carlson in 2028, but 2032, whenever Jake Paul is eligible to run, because he'll be 35 years old at that point. Stephen A. Smith running for re-election against Jake Paul. And we all live in 3 different districts. There's no more states. We live in 3 different districts, and half the people have been eviscerated in nuclear explosions. But Jake Paul is running for 2032 office, and I cannot wait for that. So that's just something for us to look forward to. But no, we're not talking about the Dallas Mavericks game last night because we don't care at all about it. Let's just be truthful and honest. It is nice to see Coop playing well. I do think he's been really impacting the game in a lot of ways since his return. I'm going to drop a video on my channel here whenever I get home, but it's encouraging in his, 7 games since returning from injury. The advanced stuff with him, the ancillary stuff, it's all fantastic. And now we're starting to see the scoring kind of returning, and it was a little inefficient last night, but by and large, he's making a very big positive impact on winning. And the Mavs nearly lost by 20 games, and he was still a +1, right? He was still a +1, so that's encouraging. I'm pretty excited about that. But last night, some of the games, the Celtics are a machine. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum are awesome last night, and you still got Derek White chugging along. I will say Derek White has broken me. He's a reason why, Stat Sheet, FC, Advanced Stats, they've won me over. They have won me over this year, and Derek White really is a big reason for that. And the reason is, if you look at some of these, RAPM, RAPM, if you look at Darko, all of these, it's like grades out Derek White. EPM grades out Derek White. It's like a top 10 player in the entire NBA, right? Far and away the best player on the Celtics this year. And I've watched, I mentioned this, I've watched the Celtics more than any other Eastern Conference team this year. And recently, I've sort of made it a mission to really kind of focus on Derek White. Just because, right? All these stats say that he's incredible. Let me see if the eye test backs this up. Let me use this as like an exercise to sort of fine-tune my eye test. If you watch him, man, and I just don't know how many guys in the league are impacting the game the way that he does, even if he's not scoring. I just don't know if there's many. It's like him, Wemby, right? He's on pace to become the first player ever. I believe the stat is 200 threes and 100 blocks. I mean, it's absolutely insane, man. So Derek White, incredible stuff. And again, he's sort of has changed my stance on a lot of these advanced stats, the nerd stuff. I'm pretty bought in on the Celtics team. I've said it time and time again. London Hoops with the 499 site. I'm getting worried about how all the big Mavs accounts are posting prop for Acuff. What did we do to deserve fans without ball knowledge? We'll talk about Acuff here in a second. Okay, we'll talk about Acuff here in a second, but I do have my stance on that. Let's look at the Lakers-Rockets game last night, because the Lakers win 100-92. Luka pops off. He's been incredible as of late. The Lakers, what is it now? 6 straight wins. They've been one of the better defenses in the league over that stretch. I think you dive a little bit deeper. Their opponent three-point shooting stuff shows that this might be a little, I don't want to say fluky, but they did this exact thing last year. And these teams have kind of done this, right? Lakers teams and also Luka teams, where they really perform at their best at the end of the season, which is what you want. And it is always how we kind of talk ourselves into, like last year, for example, the Lakers were playing great basketball around this time. And that's how you start to talk yourself into, right, here come the Lakers, and then they play the Timberwolves, so it's like, oh yeah, that's right. They have no chance against a team like this. But I talked about this a little bit on my stream yesterday. You look at this Lakers team compared to some of the other Western Conference teams, you obviously have the top, the Thunder, the Spurs, and it's just kind of a mess after that, right? The West kind of falls off after that. It's very top heavy. Some of these teams in the 3 to 7 range, if we want to include the Suns, all have deep flaws somewhere, and you really got to talk yourself into it. And in the case of the Nuggets, they're just so injured. They've had such a strange year that it's hard to imagine they really flip the switch and are completely ready to go. They'll have to look like a completely different team by the time the playoff starts. They've been shockingly one of the worst clutch teams in the league. The Timberwolves, any given night, you might see the worst basketball team ever assembled. That's just how they play. The Rockets are a fucking dumpster fire. And then here are the Lakers, who are one of the hottest teams in the league. Defensively, they've really figured it out. Luke Kennard has opened up a lot of things for them offensively, and Luka's playing the best basketball of the season. I don't know. There was a time, probably 3 weeks ago, maybe even less than that, I would have said, I don't think the Lakers could beat anybody in a playoff series. I wouldn't pick them against anybody, right? They were that team in the Western Conference. Now, I'd for sure pick them over Houston in a series. I would really kind of sit down and think about a Nuggets series, as shocking as that is to say. I'd pick them against the Suns, who are kind of in this mix. The Timberwolves are still a team that scare me with them just because of the athleticism, right? But yeah, I mean, I still wouldn't. Don't get fooled. I mean, I'm not talking myself into them being contenders because I don't see a world in which they beat the Thunder or the Spurs. They're clearly lacking behind those two teams. But again, I feel like so is everyone else in the West besides the Spurs and the Thunder. And it does sort of feel as though the Thunder are, I don't know, cakewalk. I said this last year. I said last year I thought the Thunder were going to win the finals and maybe lose 2 or 3 games the entire way. And they went to 7 twice. But I do feel as though the Thunder, it's kind of shaping up for them to have a dominant run. But, the Lakers do deserve some attention because the attention surrounding them has been so negative. They've been playing so well. Luka's been playing so well. Defensively, they've been playing, much better. They did this last year where it was kind of gimmicky. They're all just flying around defensively, and you kind of knew it wasn't that sustainable with some of the guys they have on their team, not traditionally great defenders. And right now, you look at their opponent three-point shooting numbers, and I think over this recent stretch they've had, opponents have had the second worst three-point percentage in the entire league out of all 30 teams against the Lakers. So again, it's like that's partially it. That's partially some of it. But when Luka is playing at this level, and this was the thing with them last year, Luka was not playing at this level. Luka was clearly bogged down from the calf injury he dealt with early in the season. The trade happened. He was clearly not in good shape at this time a year ago. And he's playing some of his best basketball. And unfortunately, that comes with shit like this. Polymarket tweeting this out. And I don't even really want to give this the time of day, but dude, Polymarket. This is insane to me. Really, it is. Luka Doncic says his fiance took his kids. 37 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, 8 assists per game. Lakers are 6-0 in the custody battle Luka era. 700,000 views, 18,000 likes. This is just sickening to me, dude. What the fuck post is this? Like, this is a post that Luka Stan 77 puts on Twitter, right? Not Polymarket Sports. But actually, no, this actually makes a ton of sense for Polymarket Sports. I typed out a tweet to this that I had to delete because it would have gotten me banned. Just straight up, it would have. Polymarket is the biggest stain on our society. It is. It feels like it's the biggest coffin. Maybe it's the biggest sort of point of no return moment in society. And we'll look back on it, in 15 years when we're eating Chef Boyardee out of a bunker. And we're like, oh yeah, that was it. That was the moment, was Polymarket. The moment we started to be able to bet anything and everything, and we just completely and totally gave in to gambling. We just completely and totally, gave in to all of these horrible things. And we said, we can't, whatever. Polymarket. Will Iran be bombed this weekend? Bet on Polymarket. We don't know. Will a nuke go off by the end of the year? We don't know. Bet on Polymarket. You get some great odds, man. You get some fantastic odds. That's about the time when we just decided in about 10 or so years we'll be eating Chef Boyardee out of a bunker, out of the can in the bunker, and that'll be that. So anyways, this is disgusting. 16,000 people like this. Come on, man.
It's gross, dude. I don't really, the internet ready to jump on this Luka divorce. I didn't even like I don't know if you saw Prime, how they were really ready to share the Maria Sharapova pictures. I don't know how you feel about that, but I knew what they were doing too.
Yeah, I've seen the Maria Sharapova stuff, and I do. There are like real life people on this earth, and I feel like this is actually a pretty common thing, who truthfully do believe that you cannot have a friendship with the opposite sex without it being for sexual stuff. There's people who believe that to be true. I mean, I don't. Obviously, I have many women friends, despite what you might think from hearing stuff on the show about how little of the best leading role actresses movies I've watched, which was 0 before this weekend, and that was not intentional. But yes, I think it's kind of strange. But I do agree. I was noticing that too, and I felt that it was kind of intentional, like, oh, this will get a lot of likes.
Oh, look, a former #1 tennis star that no one's talked about in 10 years is in a picture with Luka Doncic. Oh, by the way, has nothing to do with anything that he has going on. Yeah, it seemed pretty. It seemed
like an easy. This is going to get a lot of clicks because people are going to say the same thing. Luka stands are easily the most parasocial out of all of the ones I've seen. Yeah, out of all the ones I've seen, I think so as well. Yeah, and it's just a normal ass picture. I did notice that too. But let's not let the Rockets skate easily by here because they are a complete and total fucking catastrophe, man. They might be the biggest catastrophe in the league currently. Usually around this time of the year, we always get to this point with these teams where it's like, okay, last year it was the Phoenix Suns. The year before that, it was also the Phoenix Suns. The year before that, it was probably like the Brooklyn Nets. A couple years ago, it was the Brooklyn Nets. Then a few years before that, it was like that Warriors team that sort of collapsed in on itself like a dying star. I wonder what all these teams have in common. I really don't know. There must be something tying all these teams together that always hilariously collapse in on themselves. I'm not entirely sure what it could possibly be. But anyways, here's some highlights of the offense here at the end. And I was thinking about this, and this is great. This is actually great for the league that the Rockets are collapsing in on themselves. Obviously, they've dealt with injuries. No Fred VanVleet all year. Steven Adams, their most important player, right? He had season-ending injury. Just think about that, what I said. Just think about what I said. Steven Adams being your most important offensive player at some point, right? You got to like really look at yourself in the mirror and determine if you're serious about the sport or not. Because it's good this happened. And let me explain why. Because the Mavericks also went down this path in the offseason. And I talked myself into it foolishly that, oh, yeah, in today's NBA, shooting might not mean everything. You might not need to shoot if you possession max. If you just grab a bunch of offensive rebounds and you're so big, possession max, you don't need to shoot. That's how you can win. The Rockets were good, and then they kind of fell apart. And maybe if they were healthy, it'd be different. I'm happy that this is being exposed so teams can look at this and say, okay, all right. The idea that you don't need to shoot threes in today's NBA is a joke. So don't do it. And even the Mavericks lately have just been bombing threes, at least compared to where they've been in the start of the season and stuff when they were putting up 23s in a game and thinking that was going to work. You watch them, and Tari Eason's not getting guarded. He can't make a shot to save his life. Nobody's within 20 feet of Amen Thompson. This isn't winning basketball, right? And we can laugh and joke and meme about Kevin Durant all we want, but when you have three guys, when you're sharing the floor with three guys, maybe even four at any given time, who are just not threats to shoot. And I mean, dude, Amen Thompson, we've talked about this. Amen Thompson doesn't even get guarded at the free throw line. Jabari Smith Jr., what are the conversations about him? I mean, he was a third overall pick, man. Is he in bust territory? Like, when you're a third overall pick, that's like star. You're supposed to be a superstar. You're supposed to be a star. You're supposed to change a franchise's trajectory entirely. Can we say confidently he's done that for the better? No. I mean, look at this spacing, man. This is just a travesty. KD's got two guys on him at half court, and Tari Eason's airballing a corner three. Oh my Lord. Yeah, that's true. KD has let us know what his opinions on Jabari Smith Jr. Those are out there and they're public. So there you go. But anyways, yeah, I just feel like, yeah, and I know Jabari played pretty good last night, but I'm just saying in general, right? The vibe surrounding that team is just in the toilet to the point now where it's like, let's just say the Rockets are the 3 seed. Do we have any confidence that they even win a game? Like that they win a game? That's where it's at with them, where the trajectory of their season is cratering so fast. The vibes are in the toilet. Is it cooked completely? Probably. So anyways, another good game from Luka, who's just been piling up these good games. And it's nice to see the narrative sort of start to flip a little bit. Luka Doncic over the last 6 games, 37.8, 9 rebounds, 7, nearly 8 assists. Also, look at this, man. 3.5 stocks per game. How about that? MVP numbers. And I agree. This idea, and I looked at the odds this morning. He's now tied with Cade for like top 4. So I do think he'll be first team All-NBA, which is good because I did a whole video about this a couple days ago. Like, there were real talks as though Luka was not going to be a first team All-NBA guy, and they were instead going to give it to somebody like Jaylen Brown, which would have been a complete and total catastrophe, which I've talked about before, a complete and total farce. So that's good that we're sort of making up for that. He's not going to win MVP. He probably won't even finish top 3, if I'm just being honest, just with how these voters behave and, with some of the seasons some of the guys above him are having. But him not being first team would be a complete and total catastrophe. So I'm happy to see it feels as though we are, riding the course there. Luka playing better yet moving down MVP ladder. Is he moving down? I mean, the MVP ladder is just one dude at NBA.com. But his odds are moving up. I mean, he's not going to win. He's a super... Shea today on FanDuel was a minus 1,000. So, I mean, the race is over, right? Like I think most races are over, except Rookie of the Year, which the window is still open. And Coop's creeping back to that being like 50-50 in odds. So, I've been kind of doomer pilling the Cooper Rookie of the Year stuff. But a strong close to the season for him, and he could be right back in the driver's seat for that. So... That's exciting, but Wemby's going to get Defensive Player of the Year. Rookie of the Year would be insane. Defensive Player of the Year, Luka's going to get MVP. No, Shea's going to get MVP. 4 years of top 5 picks gets you Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Amen Thompson, Reed Shepard. Stinky draft front office. Yeah, that's when you lay it out like that. That's not that great, is it? Kind of insane to think about. You had. Wow, all of those were top 5 picks, huh? Top 4 even. That's actually kind of nuts. Is that bad luck or is that bad drafting? 4 years of top 5 picks. Jalen Green, bust for the Rockets. Just call it what it is. Jabari Smith Jr., not returning value on the 3rd overall pick. But also was a good draft prospect. Amen Thompson. Consensus top 5 guy. And he's also been good. I know we meme on Amen Thompson and stuff like that, but he is very good. And then Reed Shepard, who some people would die for. Completely die for. And also, that draft was terrible, and he was a consensus kind of top 3 guy, to be fair. Just seems a little bad luck, to be honest with you. Seems a little bad luck. I mean, Jabari Smith was in talks for the number 1 pick in that draft. And Shams, who should be in prison for this, went on his show whenever they were the Yahoo show before he was with ESPN, and they were sponsored by FanDuel or whatever, and magically said hours before the draft that the Magic were going to take Jabari Smith. And the odds changed so much on that, and then they ended up taking Paolo. We don't forget. We don't forget that at all. Also want to shout out, look at this, man. Look at this. Look at these. This makes me sad looking at because of JT Toppin. But AP All-American first team dropped. Time to get into college basketball, where I've watched a few. I watched a ton of the college, the conference tournaments, to the point where I'm actually willing to bet this. Outside of the college basketball, heads, of which there are many, like the true college basketball, I'm gonna sit down on the couch and watch college basketball all day, guys. I think I've watched more Hawaii games than 99% of the population. Or even this, 99% of basketball fans. So I do think because of that, I'm going to flex my ball knowledge. Obviously, Big Fish Isaac Johnson robbed here. Completely robbed. It's funny because the Big Fish meme was a meme at first, but I'm not going to lie. I watched them play every single one of their tournament games, and really the only reason I did that was because their games were at like midnight. Their games started at like 11:30 p.m. for some reason. And you watch the games and it's like, wait a second, bro. Big Fish is actually nice. Isaac Johnson's actually him. We joked about it, but he's actually nice. Unfortunately, he's 34 years old and has children, but that's okay. Al Horford's still getting it done in the league. Can you give me 4 years? Big Fish, 4 years. That's all I need. Here's the first team. Cam Boozer, AJ DeBonza, Darius Acuff, Yaxel, and JT Toppin. 3 freshmen there. How about that? Is there a second team? JT Toppin, man. What could have been? Just feel badly for my Red Raiders. It's all kind of gone downhill, hasn't it? JT Toppin hurt. Christian Anderson, nobody knows about. They got absolutely blown out in game 1 of the Big 12 tournament. I saw a stat about teams that lose game 1 of their conference tournaments almost always are early exits. almost always early exits in March Madness, unfortunately. You just hate to see it. Oh, here's second team. Joshua Jefferson, Braden Smith, who will set the assist record in their first game. Jeremy Fears, Keaton Vogler, and Caleb Wilson. It sucks that we're not going to see Caleb Wilson in the tournament. Christian Anderson. All right, hey, my Red Raiders, man. We're pumping them out. Is Tech the only team with 2 guys on these? Wow. Okay. Third team, Kingston Flemings, LeBaron Philon, who I kind of go back and forth on quite a bit. Thomas Ha, is that how you say that? Ha. Draft guy. Christian Anderson and Graham Ike. Okay, there you go. Keep an eye on these guys. Keep an eye on these guys as we head into March Madness, which let's get into. I'm going to fill out a bracket purely vibes based. Last year we did a purely vibes based bracket and I can't remember how good it was. I think it was dreadful. So this year we're going back for seconds. And again, March Madness it's a sobering thing. It really is, because you can fancy yourself, even if you are a college basketball nerd. There's no way anybody in this pool I'm in, whether it's like a friend's pool, family pool, office pool, there's no way anybody in here has watched more college basketball than me. You could be a spreadsheet nerd. There's no way anyone's crunched the numbers more than me. You could really be anything. I watch a ton of NBA. I know basketball. But then you'll finish below a 2-year-old child in your bracket pool. And in one of my friend's pools, his 2-year-old daughter is in the pool, and she will finish higher than me, right? A cat will finish higher than you in your family pool because it picked all cat teams. That's what happens, and it's going to happen inevitably. So you just have to go vibes-based. And you guys know my number one rule when picking these tournaments is close your eyes and imagine. It's kind of like an aura test. Close your eyes and imagine. Now, I do have a nerdy-ass bracket I filled out with a bunch of different data and with a bunch of data involved. And that's the one that I will be pushing. I'm not going to share that with you guys because there's numbers involved in that you guys are just not, you guys just do not have access to. So I got to keep my leg up, right? And just give you guys this slop one here. And again, I'll open up the bracket. You know what? Let's make the bracket right now. Let's make the group. Create a group.
Imagine if Polymarket got a hold of your real one.
Yeah, seriously. They would ban anybody who uses it. Public intergroup name. What should the name of our bracket be, guys? Slightly biased bracket. Slightly biased bracket.
That's pretty original.
Entries per user. 1. Create group. Copy invite link. I'm going to spam it in the chat. Get in. The winner will get a free hat and a free shirt that we're dropping next week. Okay. Free hat, free shirt. We're dropping these next week. Winner will get that. There you go. It's in the chat right now. And I'll tweet it out. We'll blast it. All of this. But let's get into it. Let's make a bracket. Oh, that's my real bracket. How do I make a new bracket?
No one screenshot. No one.
For the love of God, ESPN, it's actually remarkable how horrible anything on your website is. It's actually horrible. Here we go. Duke and Siena. Siena. Where is Siena? Does anybody know? Duke. I do like, they got the Bulldog logo. Again, somebody in your family pool is going to put a bracket in for their dog and pick only dogs, and Siena's going to beat Duke, and the dog's going to win the bracket pool. That's how these things always work. Okay? Ohio State versus TCU. Now, I've listened to some people discuss these games. This one, because again, that's where I'm getting my analysis from other people. This one is a toss-up. It doesn't really matter because both of them are going to, either of them are going to get stomped out by Duke, almost certainly. But it's one of those close my eyes and imagine. To me, TCU has always been, and I don't know if it's a Big 12 thing, has always been a school a sports program that lacks any type of aura at all, right? Ohio State does kind of have that. But then I also go and think D'Angelo Russell went to Ohio State, and I had to watch that debacle all year long. And that kind of knocks them a few pegs down for me. And because of that, I am picking TCU to win that game. St. John's versus UNI. Now, UNI had one of the craziest upsets I can remember against, was that UT or Texas A&M? Like 10 years ago, they won on a half-court 3. I remember exactly where I was when that game happened. I was at Zabuki's, which was a place in Plano that's no longer open, but they used to have a 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. happy hour where drinks were $2, and we were 18 years old, and no one cared. Okay, it was awesome, and the place closed down for obvious reasons, and I watched that game, and it was incredible. So, with that being said, I am taking St. John's over UNI.
Mascot check.
Yeah.
What you got?
I don't. What is St. John's ones? They're the Marys or some shit like that, right?
Red Storm.
Oh, okay. Is
What
someone
about
the
UNI?
Marys? Is that even a thing?
St. Mary's. Is that what you're talking about?
UNI looks to be some type of Panther.
You are correct, sir. The Panthers.
Again, your friend is going to put his cat in your pool, and they're going to pick UNI, and they're going to go to the Elite Eight. And that's going to be what happens, and you're going to lose. Kansas versus CA Baptist. Now, here's the thing. When you do these vibes-based ones, you got to close your eyes and imagine. For some reason, Kansas Twitter infiltrated my For You page recently, and they are the most doomer-pilled college fan base that has to exist. And they're all freaking out about this. And so I'm closing my eyes and imagine, will there be a Twitter space clip where a Kansas fan is freaking out because they lost round 1, and they're calling Darren Peterson things you should never say, and that's the end of that? And honestly, I'm imagining that happening. So because of that, I am going CA Baptist. I know nothing about them. I couldn't name you...
Mascot.
I couldn't name you the mascot. Baptist? I don't know. Jesus is...
The Lancer. Close.
Okay.
Jesus is usually confused with the Lancer. So
yeah,
close.
That's true. I was close on that.
Great pick, by the way.
CA Baptist. Boom. There you go. Louisville versus South Florida. Louisville has a guy that I wouldn't mind the Mavs drafting, and Mikael Brown Jr. He has back problems. That terrifies me. Will he be healthy in this game? I'm actually asking. Does anybody know? Is there any updates on him? Because if he is, I'm kind of feeling like a deep run for them. Because the recipe in March is, do you have these guards who can pop off and get hot at any given moment? Mikael Brown Jr. fits that mold to a T. So does Darren Peterson, to be fair. But again, I'm sort of imagining Louisville getting just destroyed. Mikael Brown Jr. about to go 8 of 24 and 7 of 17 from 3. The 7 of 17 from 3 is good. That's actually a good stat line. I mean, that right there by itself with no free throws, that's 23 points. You add free throws in the mix, you might be talking about a 30-point performance. Yeah, I'm going Louisville just because of that. I need some of that shot chucking in my life. Michigan State, North Dakota State. I have a friend, and sometimes I think about like this. I have a friend who's a Michigan State fan, and typically when it comes to sports, he's rarely ever that pleased with what's going on. So that, to me, like, I'm imagining him being happy about sports. I'm struggling to get there, but also at the same time, I cannot imagine they lose to North Dakota State. But I could be incorrect about that. It could be incorrect. UCLA versus UCF. Has a game ever instilled less hype than this? I mean, there's something about UCLA to me that, I don't know. They feel kind of elitist. I don't like them. UCF, there was once a time when they were cool in football, but then they crowned themselves national champions, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't really care all that much. I do know UCLA's coach is a complete and total psychopath. So close your eyes, imagine UCLA loses, their coach has an all-time meltdown in the post-game press conference. Yes, I envision that 100%. UCF wins, and then UConn beats Furman. Let's go. That's how we do it. Now on to the next region. Florida versus PVLEH. Okay. Florida. Clemson versus Iowa. I'm going Iowa. I have ties to Iowa. My grandpa is a diehard Iowa Hawkeye fan, and they do have an NBA guard. So because of that, I'm taking Iowa.
What do you know about Clemson?
Know nothing of Clemson football school, right? I mean, like, I'd like to see some data on these football schools that try to get into March Madness. Like, get out of here, man. We don't care. Like, it's March Madness. It's time for the basketball teams. I mean, Florida's kind of more of a basketball school at this point, aren't they? Florida's always been like one of the better at both football and basketball at the same time. But I feel like currently they're kind of more of a.
That's a great point. They've been up there past 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, they're
especially for the SEC.
Reigning champs, man. So, Vanderbilt and McNeese. I can't do the equipment manager guy again. I just can't do it. Vanderbilt. I feel badly about that. I'm just kind of fed up with it, you know. And God bless them. Nebraska, Troy. So this made my heart hurt a little bit. Nebraska's having a remarkable season, like an all-time turnaround type stuff. They've never won in the history of Nebraska University. They've never won a March Madness game. Can you believe that? Never once have they won in this tournament. Now, they're having a great season. They're the 4 seed. You would think this is the year. To me, that spells heartbreak. I'm going with Troy. Also, incredible name for a university. Troy. Troy Bolton should have went there. High School Musical. Do we know what college he went to? North Carolina versus VCU. VCU was Shaka Smart back in the day, wasn't it? Those teams, man.
That's correct.
They'd press you for 40 minutes. Good luck. It sucks Caleb Wilson's not going to play in this tournament because it's always fun watching the top-end NBA guys, you know, play in these type of environments. But everything that I was reading and research is that North Carolina still is a very good team, even without Caleb Wilson. Their ceiling's just probably very limited. So I'll take them. You know, I'll take them to win. Illinois versus Penn. Dude, I got to be real. I think Illinois is going to have quite the run. They've got a ton of NBA talent too, and obviously Keaton Vogler, but they also have like down throughout the rotation guys who will at the very least play in the NBA probably, whether that's the second round picks or guys who will get picked up or you know, summer league invites, stuff like that. So Illinois, I'm in on. I'm super interested to see Vogler here over the next couple of weeks because he's somebody that I'm very wishy-washy on because the three-point shooting volume, the three-point efficiency, the ability to get to the free throw line, all of that tells me that this guy is going to be a very good NBA player and somebody who at the absolute worst is just like a really great off-ball player offensively because of his shooting ability, obviously, and also his feel and his playmaking prowess. But then I think there's a ceiling there where he could be a little bit more than that, but he's just so unathletic. I'm going to be really interested in seeing him in this tournament. St. Mary's versus Texas A&M. We'll never pick Texas A&M ever. So there you go, St. Mary's. Houston versus Idaho, Kingston Flemings. Let's go.
Mascot check on that St. Mary's now that you're there.
The Bonnies, right?
Gales.
Who's the Bonnies?
St. Bonaventure?
Oh, is that it?
I think so.
They're not in here because I know everyone hates Adrian Wojnarowski. Arizona versus Long Island. The hell's Long Island doing here? Actually, I think I saw people say that Long Island. No, okay. I think I saw people say Long Island should have been in the play-in game, one of the play-in games. Arizona, whatever. Villanova versus Utah State. I do know that Utah State's a pretty good team. They're always pretty good. Villanova, to me, close your eyes, right? Aren't we all just a little bit fed up with the Villanova 5 shtick? Like, I'm just kind of cool with Villanova not being relevant in basketball for just a tiny bit. Like, that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm okay with it. Flashbacks to, I believe it was 2017 when Jalen Brunson and Villanova, no, that would have been 2018, I guess. Jalen Brunson and Villanova beat my Red Raiders in the Elite Eight. That one hurts still to this day. So, yeah, I've got Utah State winning. Wisconsin versus High Point. Now, here's the thing. With 12 versus 5s, there's always teams that win. When you close your eyes and imagine, what could be a team that makes a Cinderella dark horse run? Close your eyes and imagine. Think of the names. High Point, that's a great one. Close your eyes and imagine High Point making a run to like the Elite Eight. Absolutely, I could see that. Absolutely. But Wisconsin's a very good team, isn't it? So I'm going to go Wisconsin. And let me tell you something. It doesn't really matter. Because here's Arkansas and Hawaii. The matchup everybody is circling, the matchup that I think the entire nation is going to be watching and awaiting every shot with bated breath, because you have Darius Acuff, who has now flown up some people's boards. Kendrick Perkins has him 101 on his big board. You have Darius Acuff, who also got the stamp of approval from Rich Paul, versus Big Fish and the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Let me tell you something. If you didn't know who Big Fish, Isaac Johnson, was, you will know. You will know. He will leave his mark on this entire country. And yes, you look at everything with him. Wait a second. Legit 7-footer who can move his feet really well, who has really good passing feel, monster rebounder, good touch around the rim, shoots a million fucking threes a game. Why is this guy not going 5th in the draft? He is 37 years old. But that, to me, in this college tournament means he's experienced. He knows what he's doing. Hawaii, welcome to the round of 32. What an incredible achievement for Isaac Big Fish Johnson. And we're going to have conversations after that, right? Because Darius Acuff is the number 1 pick now. If Isaac Big Fish Johnson upsets him, are we going to have those same conversations with Isaac? Those are the questions I asked. BYU versus Texas or North Carolina State. Give me BYU. I do want to see BYU. I know their defense is trash, and that will come back to bite them in the ass. But I am 100% here for a deep A.J. DeBonza run. Gonzaga, Kennesaw State. How is Gonzaga this year? How are they? How are they doing? Are they doing good? Is everyone feeling all right there? You just hate Acuff? So, again, this is unfortunate because the reality is I was going to pick Hawaii no matter who they were playing. And here I have them winning. And I wouldn't even really be that surprised. I really wouldn't even be that surprised if we see 7-footer Isaac Johnson getting the Darius Acuff assignment. That wouldn't shock me at all. If he's the one guarding Darius Acuff, moving his feet and guarding out on the perimeter. Because, again, we all this talk about Caleb Wilson, rightfully so, what he can be defensively, Yaxel, who he is defensively, Quaintance, who he is defensively. Just wait. Just wait until you see Isaac Johnson sticking, not just sticking. If I were Hawaii's coach, I'd probably have Isaac Johnson picking up Darius Acuff full length of the floor for full 40 minutes. And I think that will work well. So I've got Hawaii because I think they're going to throw some stuff like that with Big Fish out at them. I'll take Kennesaw State. And the only reason I'm doing that is one of these teams has to win, right? One of these teams has to win.
They almost upset somebody last year, if I remember right. Maybe it was 2 years ago, but
yeah. And Kennesaw State, you know them and you love them because they've been like the worst college football team forever. And so if you ever get recommended on your YouTube feed, college football rebuilds, everyone's always rebuilding Kennesaw State.
What's your mascot check on that?
Kennesaw State, Golden Eagles.
Try an owl.
Owl. Okay. That deducts some more points. I'm just going to be real. I'm looking at the Gonzaga Bulldog, and I'm sorry. I can't get there with the owl. That just really changed
we talked him off of it.
And that just completely and totally changed my outlook for them. Miami versus Missouri. So, Miami, flashback, shout out, Mavs legend, Shane Larkin, obviously. But Miami, do you really need it all? You were just in the championship game in college football. Let's let Missouri have some shine. All right, you're in Miami, your campus is beautiful, right? The student base there is beautiful. You have beaches, you have Miami football, you have a Bella Danger. We're going to give Missouri this one, all right? Purdue versus Queens. Now, again, close your eyes and imagine, a top seed losing. We have seen Purdue lose as a top seed before, the 1 seed, matter of fact. But close your eyes and imagine you got to have some aura in your name and everything about you if you're going to be a lower seed and win in this tournament. Queens. How sick is that? Queens. Queens beats Purdue. And you guys know I love my Queens, right?
They're going to be going nuts back in
Queens. Is this in Queens?
I just see New York.
Okay. I'll just assume it is. And I like their logo. I do have Purdue, though. I do have Purdue. They've got a guard. They've got a 30-year-old guard who has played a million games and is good. So there you go. Michigan, move on. Georgia versus St. Louis. St. Louis has that, what's his name? Diego. And by the way, I watched the end of that St. Louis and, oh my God, who did they lose to? They're in the tournament too because they won. In their conference tournament game. Was it Akron? Either way, that game that they lost in their conference tournament was one of the craziest finishes I've seen to a basketball game in a few years. So they're kind of coming off of that heartbreaking loss. I know that they've been bad recently. I have done a little bit of research here. I know that they've been struggling a little bit over the last few months.
You talking about the game against Dayton?
Yeah, it was Dayton. 100%. I'll go St. Louis here just because,
Mascot check. This is one of my favorite ones.
That looks like a mouse.
It's a billiken, which is like some form of devil or something like that.
Okay, that's got some aura to it. There's only so many, like Georgia Bulldogs. We've already covered like 5 different Bulldog teams, right? Not everyone can be the Bulldogs. Texas Tech versus Akron. Oh, this breaks my heart in so many different ways because obviously I'm a Red Raider alumnus, and I understand what Texas Tech heartbreak is. They lost by 20 points in their first game in the Big 12 tournament. There's lots of stats out there that if you lose round 1 of your conference tournament, you are done for. And they have no JT Toppin. Christian Anderson had a groin injury, which they're saying is fine because he slipped on that hockey rink court that they had in Kansas. And I'm worried because these groin injuries, man, they pop up. You think these soft tissue injuries go away, you feel better. Next thing you know, you stretch out for a rebound or something and a loose ball, and now it hurts again. And then I think Akron, I think LeBron James. So knowing nothing about Akron at all, besides the fact that LeBron James is from Akron, Ohio, I am taking Akron. And this is a little bit reverse psychology here. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Tech manages to go on a deep run, but it's difficult for me. Alabama has a guard I'm very interested in, and LeBaron Philon. Obviously, they have another guy who just got arrested, which we don't like.
But no one was murdered.
Nobody was murdered.
So that's good.
What's up with these Alabama guys basketball players getting into some serious trouble? Because that was Brandon Miller, too.
Especially around tournament time.
Yeah. Hofstra always has some upset aura, right? Hofstra. I'm going Alabama, though. Tennessee against SMU or Miami of Ohio. It's good to see Miami of Ohio get in because that would have been crazy if they didn't. SMU, I've got some ties to SMU. We love SMU. Dallas, obviously, we got to represent. Go Stangs. Tennessee, Nate Ament, NBA guy. Personally, not that sold on him, but this is a good opportunity for him to sort of grow his stock a little bit. Tennessee seems like a good team. I'm going with them. Virginia versus Wright State. Virginia will always hold a place of hatred in my heart for what they did to my Red Raiders in the 2019 championship game. Just absolutely devastating. And I'll never get over it.
They love losing in the tournament, though.
Yeah, fuck it. Wright State, you're in. Virginia, I'll never get over that, what you did. I'll never forget you. I'll never get over and forgive you for forcing DeAndre Hunter on the NBA. So there you go. Wright State wins. Kentucky versus Santa Clara. Now, Santa Clara is always churning out these NBA guys. They have, who's the guy there right now? Graves, right? That a lot of people love. Kentucky's had a weird year. I'll go Santa Clara. Why not? It's fun to say. Virginia's the worst 3 seed. Virginia's good. Virginia's the worst 3 seed. And then I have Iowa State, who, again, I watched just absolutely pummel my Red Raiders in the Big 12 tournament just a week ago. And they're good. They're very good. So here we go. Round of 32. Florida versus Iowa. Keegan Murray, right? Keegan Murray. Chris Murray. Any other Iowa guys? Who else is an Iowa guy? Obviously, they have Ben Sturts, who's going to be in the NBA. But what are some other Iowa guys in the league? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Luka Garza. Florida, they're a wagon. I'm picking Florida. Vanderbilt versus Troy. Vanderbilt has 5'3" Tyler Tanner, who some people are saying, what's his deal? Some people have him top 3 in their draft boards. Some people are saying he's the next Chris Paul, even. He's good. But is he that good? Future Mav, maybe. Future Maverick. Troy has the name. When you're imagining, oh my God, I can't believe, insert name here is in the Sweet 16, they have to pass the name test. I can't believe Troy is in the Sweet 16. That does pass the name test quite a bit. But I'll go Vanderbilt. Yeah, we'll go SEC there in the Sweet 16. North Carolina versus Illinois. I'm going Illinois. St. Mary's versus Houston. Houston. Give me the NBA ready guards 10 times out of 10. I'll take the NBA ready, a future former Mav. Tyler Tanner is a future former Mav. Kingston Flemings is a potential former future Mav. It's former future Mav. Kingston Flemings, former future Mav potential. Duke versus TCU. Cam Boozer's a former future Mav. Carlos Boozer's son. Give me Duke. Please, Cam Boozer. Don't embarrass me, man. That last game you had in the ACC tournament had a lot of people talking spicy, and you guys did win. You managed to win, and you managed to pull it out. You're playing point guard on offense and center on defense. Is there any word on... I still don't know how to say his name ever. And to the point where I need to make sure I really hammer out how to say his name before I mess it up. Nagba? Am I close? Is he going to play? I've seen some people kind of theorize that he'll sit out game 1 and then come back in their round of 32 game. But if he's out and misses significant time, that's a little bit scary because it feels like they were really kind of running on fumes already in their ACC tournament. That worries me a little bit. No, Caleb Foster I know is not playing, but by the way, you talk about him, I thought he was unanimously number 1, Cam Boozer. Well, he's the best player in college basketball, and I would take him unanimously number 1. St. John's versus CBU. We'll go St. John's. But I'm imagining CBU. And again, I've seen the reason why I picked CBU to beat Kansas is I've seen Kansas fans on my timeline dooming and glooming. So there you have it. Louisville versus Michigan State. God, is Mikal Brown Jr., like, what is his deal? I'm so scared about these back problems for him because I do think I would absolutely love him. I really do. I think as a prospect with his size and just the sheer amount of threes he shoots off the dribble, the sheer amount of threes he shoots coming off ball screens. I saw a stat about that yesterday, that some of these guards not shooting when they're open off of ball screens. Kingston Fleming's numbers were really low. That was a little bit scary for me with him, was how little he shoots coming off of ball screens. And some people are saying that to Houston. That's kind of like how their offensive system is. I don't know. That's the thing, is I don't know if we're talking just weird kind of fluke. I know he landed on it weird, and that's why he missed their conference tournament. But it's like, is it degenerative back problems? Because I could see Mikal Brown Jr. being like my pick of the guards. So I don't know. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go Louisville. Let's go. Louisville, you're in. UConn, sure. Duke, you're in. I'm just going to send Duke to the Final Four because they have Cam Boozer. And that's just is what it is. I've got agendas to push. Whatever, Louisville, go. I mean, this is dependent on Mikal Brown Jr. not having a fucked up back. But there you go, Duke in the Final Four. That feels good to me. Arizona, you are an absolute wagon. Some people are saying Bryce James might get 30 minutes a game in this tournament. I don't know how true that is. I said Duke, you're in. Not Duke, urine.
Duke urine?
Guys, you know I'm Texan, man. The way I say words sometimes is a little bit different, okay? And I'd like for you to respect that. I don't have like a deep Texan accent. I'm from a city, right? I'm not from the ranch, so I don't have a deep Texan accent.
They're actually the Blue Devils, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, they're not the Duke Urins, okay? And I feel like you didn't need me to tell you that, but they do call themselves the Dukies. That is true. Arizona, you're in. And listen, guys, I mentioned this when I talked about Hawaii versus Arkansas, close your eyes and imagine who is going to be the guy that we finish this tournament talking about. And everyone thinks it's going to be Darius Acuff. It's not. It's Isaac Johnson. It's Big Fish. Okay? It's going to be an incredible run for him where he ends up getting drafted, maybe even 3rd overall, because BYU is going to lose in the 2nd round. Or how about this? Kansas loses in round 1, and Hawaii makes a deep run, and now Isaac Johnson is getting drafted 3rd overall, and Darren Peterson is getting drafted 14th. That's what's happening. Hawaii, welcome to the Sweet 16. BYU Gonzaga. Oh, fuck it. AJ DeBonzo, let's go. Let's just rock with it. Best scorer here, right? He has to be. Take over these games. I remember that time Sally Bice was on trial for murder. Never been. And his lawyer argued with the judge about Utes. Though that might have been a movie. That seems like that was a movie or some sort of paranoid episode that you had, because that's not anything that happened in real life. Missouri versus Purdue. Couldn't tell you the first thing about Missouri. Purdue, you're on to the next round. Feel good about that. Now here's where it gets rough, because Arizona is a complete and total force of nature. But so is Isaac Johnson. And again, when you think about this tournament, I'm already imagining the stories. I'm already imagining the profiles ESPN's going to run. I'm already imagining the TNT halftime show where we're doing a complete and total deep dive into Isaac Johnson and his 3 children. Because again, he's 35 years old. And we love that. And I still think he should be an NBA player because we could get 3 or 4 years out of him. And if I were a GM, I'm inviting him to a training camp at the very least. So again, everyone, Arizona, they're the team. Everyone loves Arizona. Hawaii wins. How are you going to beat a Rainbow Warrior? Think about that. What's going to beat a Rainbow Warrior? Anything?
Little woke for me.
Dark Woke is coming back. So, hey, Woke is winning the tournament. BYU versus Purdue. This has to be the end of the line. I know BYU's defense is so bad. But I do want AJ to make a deep run. I really do. I think it'd be awesome. We'll go Purdue. They've got the experience. The experience.
Come on.
You know, they've been there. All right. Well, you know what? Whatever. BYU versus Hawaii in the Sweet 16. I guess this would be the Elite 8, wouldn't it?
Pick what you want. That's what you want to see, right?
Yeah, I'm closing my eyes. Boom, Hawaii, you're in the Final Four. I mean, congratulations. Congratulations to Hawaii for making the Final Four. Michigan versus St. Louis. We'll go Michigan. Shout out to Yaxel. We love him. I wish he wasn't 33 years old. Otherwise, I'd even be making Mavs to just draft him arguments. If Yaxel was 20, I'd be like, dude, whatever. If Yaxel were 20, he's probably going top 4 or 5. But if Yaxel was 20, I'd say forget these guards. Just take him. The age thing, man, he's going to be 24 years old, year 1. That's just the problem.
But he's such a nice guy.
He might be. I know nothing about him. But Yaxel's a sick name.
I've met him a couple times. He's a good dude.
Have you really?
I have.
Why?
He was in the when he played at UAB.
Okay,
and
nice.
I happened to be those were those good Florida Atlantic teams. We were covering there, so I did some stuff with him.
Okay, great. Michigan, that's going to give you a boost later in later rounds that we now know that. I like that.
I cheer on Yaxel and Dusty May at Michigan.
Okay, all right. Akron versus Alabama. Well, let me tell you now, it won't matter because whoever it is going to get stomped by Michigan. I'll just go with my guys. You know, Akron beats Texas Tech in this scenario. Heartbreaking. My heart hurts. Because of that, I kind of want to give them a run. That way I can at least say, well, hey, Akron made it to the Sweet 16. Like, that's just a tough one for Tech. I do like LeBaron. I want LeBaron to have a good performance here because I'm really interested in him, and I'd like to see, a good tournament run out of him. He's so small. Frame-wise, he kind of gets frame-mogged a little bit. We'll go Alabama. Tennessee versus Wright State. We'll go Tennessee. Santa Clara, I know Iowa State's a wagon. So we'll have Iowa State versus Michigan in the Elite 8. Ooh, that's a good one, huh? Yo, big bias, what's up? Oh, he's big, all right. Jesus. I mean, guys, I'm giving you guys a perfect bracket for free, and you guys treat me like this. You could win $1 billion with this. This is how you treat me. Michigan versus Iowa State. My heart's telling me Iowa State, but we just learned that inside information about Yaxel that has me kind of feeling like I should take Michigan. But I'm going to go with my gut and go Iowa State here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for Yaxel, but his run does come to an end here. And unfortunately for Iowa State, they're going up against Hawaii in the Final Four. That's just a really tough. It's just tough how the bracket goes like that. I think Illinois is a beast. So boom, Illinois versus Florida in the Elite Eight. Ooh, wow! Talk about a matchup right there. Give me Illinois. So here we go. My Final Four: Duke versus Illinois, Hawaii State versus Iowa State. I don't like the fact that there's only one seed. That feels like that's not happening. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize to Iowa State. We'll give Yaxel it. There you go. Michigan's here. No, not Hawaii State. Hawaii. Sorry. Is there a Hawaii State? That'd be interesting. We'll go Duke. I think Cam Boozer's going to be in the... I think Cam Boozer's going to be in the championship game. I mean, close your eyes and imagine the marquee, like the banner outside of, where is this game being held at? Indianapolis. Imagine closing your eyes, the banner hanging from the stadium. You see Big Fish, don't you? You see Isaac Johnson's face and Cam Boozer. Matchup of those two. By this point in time, we're honestly having like number one overall pick talks, and I'm kind of pushing back a little bit. Obviously, I was like the first one, but I'm pushing back on it a little bit just because I'm like, guys, don't set him up like that, man. He's a great rotation big to have on your team. Cam Boozer, some are calling him Baby Jokic. I don't think that's fair to him. Don't really think they're all that similar. It's difficult, man. It's really kind of difficult because my heart is telling me Hawaii. My heart's telling me Hawaii. Yeah. I'm going Hawaii, and we'll go Cam Boozer having a moment and winning it all. How about that? Boozer getting called discount big fish? Yeah. He's getting called little fish. Boozer's getting called goldfish. And at this point in time, we're calling Isaac Johnson, big tuna. Like, we're calling him the great white. Like, we're calling him that, and he is white. So that does kind of, and maybe that's a little bit weird. We're calling him an orca. This is my real bracket. The thing about, at this point, because Lighters King, I don't know if you were here or not, we talked about Hawaii's matchup against Arkansas in round one, and I said if I were Hawaii's coach, Isaac Johnson's probably picking up a cuff full length of the floor for all 40 minutes. So by this point, I think he's probably a little gassed, and also he has to guard AJ DeBonza. I'm putting big fish on all of the good players. The big kahuna. Big fish and little fish with Coop on the bets. Wow. As a Hawaiian, you should call him the big huma 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 Koopa. All right, the big huma 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 Koopa. How many points will be scored? Well, I already know Isaac Johnson's probably putting up 80 by himself. We'll go 143. Boom. How do I submit this bad boy? Submit bracket. How about that? Look at that. Oh, look at the confetti. I like that animation. So I remember when you interviewed me after the USA Dominican game and I frame mogged you? No, I don't. By the way, tonight, Venezuela versus Team USA. It's kind of crazy how sports mirrors. When people say keep politics out of sports, it's inherently political. Sports are. Tonight is a reminder of that. But who's on the bump? Oh, we're throwing that McLean guy who got rocked by Italy. Nolan McLean versus who's pitching for Venezuela?
Someone who's about to have some problems.
I think
problems.
Yeah, I think that. So nice you said it twice.
I know. I guess. I don't know. Let's see if that goes again.
Eduardo Rodriguez. Oh, he's bad. Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't believe that Italy Venezuela game was good last night. I was watching it when we were watching the horrible ass Mavs game. And before we go, I want to do this real quick. The stat pad game. This is all timer. This is a new one. This is all time. Let's knock it out before we go. The NBA version. We don't care about any of the other ones. This is the new one right here. Assists. Okay. Assists. Let's do it. Detroit Pistons, 1980s to 2026. The goal is to get the most possible. And I guess this is total assists or assists per game. Well, it's got to be Isaiah Thomas. But part of me feels as though it could be a Cade. 93rd percentile. Okay, it is Isaiah Thomas. We did an 88, 89. The best year for him was 84, 85. It's all Isaiah Thomas, all in the top 5. So spoiler alert if you're trying to play this. Eastern Conference Center 2025 to 2026. So an Eastern Conference center over the last couple of years. I'm just trying to think of heavy usage centers in the East. Like, is Cat going to be high on this list? My guess would be he's probably number 1. I'm just trying to think who's like passing a bunch. Jared Allen always is like a good big man passer, but I don't know if he's like racking up assists like that. You know, is there like one of these shitty teams I'm thinking about? SAR. I'll just go Karl Anthony Towns. I don't want to spin forever on this. Cat, and we'll go last year. Huh? Oh, it's just this year. Okay, we'll just go Cat still. 92nd percentile. Nick Claxton, number 1. Oh, and then Vucevic and Okongwu. Claxton. Damn. All right. A Texas Longhorn player from 2000 to 2026. So KD's had some good assist seasons. I'm immediately thinking DJ Augustine. The only problem is I don't know what the right year would be, but I feel like that's probably the right answer. I just don't know. I'll just go for it. I'd have to guess kind of early-ish careers, but he was the Magic in 2020, shortened season. That's a problem. But he was their starting point guard when they stole a game in the bubble, or that might have been 2019. It was. They beat the Raptors in game 1 of that series. Let's go DJ Augustine. Okay, 95th percentile. TJ Ford was number 1. That TJ Augustine year was up there. His best year was 2010, 2011. All right. 2020, 2026. Okay. Bulls, Bucks, Pacers, Cavs, Pistons. So this is easy. Tyrese Halliburton last year. Easy peasy. Or I guess last year would be 24, 25 technically. That's not number 1. Oh, 23, 24 was number 1. Okay. Rookie of the year, 1990 to 2026. I'd be a little bit surprised if this weren't Luka. I'm going to go Luka's rookie year. I'd be a little bit shocked if this weren't him. Oh, Jason Kidd. Yeah. You're right. It's probably somebody from a long time ago because they used to be putting up kind of stupid stats. And he was 91st. Ben Simmons, number 1. Okay, how about that? Trey didn't win Rookie of the Year. What is the Shams? Can you just tell me what the Shams one is before I go over there and look and be made a fool? We were better than 73%. No, people are cheating. People are clearly cheating when it comes to these. There's no way anybody actually pulled better than this. Right? No way. Without the assist of AI or Google. Shams? Okay, bro.
He says Anthony Edwards will be reevaluated in 1 to 2 weeks due to right knee inflammation. We got an inflammation bomb.
Welcome to the conference semifinals, Los Angeles Lakers. Welcome to the conference semifinals, Los Angeles Lakers. That's where I'm at. Everyone's falling like flies. It's all lining up for them. It's all lining up for the Lakers to make a run. How about that? Yeah, Thursday, we are planning on doing some type of watch party. And however it is, because Big Fish and Hawaii play, I believe, at 3. Something like that. And I do want to be live for that. And I think that would be hilarious to watch. Obviously, I have Hawaii in the championship game, so I need them to win. That goes without being said.
We got to get you under control.
They're playing me off. Was that what that was? What even was that from?
That was from you.
Okay. All right. The horns. They're ushering in the apocalypse.
Would you like some exclusive Yaxel footage before we get out of here?
Yeah, show us some
never before seen
Yaxel footage, guys. Right before you fill out your brackets.
Of singing One Direction.
Okay.
How about this for you?
Okay.
There you go.
Wait, can you play that again?
Let's see. Can I do that? Would you like to see that again?
What did that guy's shirt say? Oh, UAB basketball. I thought it said dad.
So that's the type of guy you're dealing with there. Just good guy stuff.
Man, that's going to be a tough game for Hawaii once they make it there. But I do ultimately think that Hawaii probably ends up winning that game. But that's it, man. Yaxel, good guy. Obviously one of the best players in the country. Something to think about there, guys. And we will be live on Thursday. I'm not entirely sure. I'll probably have more details for you guys tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure what the time on that's going to be. But, yeah, make sure you guys, if you haven't already, join our bracket. It doesn't cost you guys any money, so just join it. Right? You might as well for some fun. Okay? And let's try to keep the team names reasonable, please, because last year it was just completely and totally out of control from the moment it started. And let's try to keep that under wraps, please. And, don't make a fool of me. Don't embarrass me. That would be fantastic. I already see that there's how many of you in here? A good chunk of you in here. And, so far you guys are pretty well behaved. So thank you for that. Good work. I'm happy about that. So anyways, I'll tweet out the link if you guys missed it. We'll be here on Thursday watching the games. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of guests too. So it'll be a great time. Love you all. I'll talk to you all later. I'm going to drop a video on this channel later today. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Who's it going to be? This is Lamar! Oh my God! My brain's going to explode. My brain's going to explode. There's something sinister afoot. Absolutely.
Security at the Haymaker Network is provided by Smith Thompson. Secure your home now at smiththompson.com.